Year 4, and this is your maths video for if you've got this booklet on Tuesday the 2nd of March. I'm going to start by saying a very big well done to Bobby for a great effort with his maths work in school. Okay, so we're going to start by playing a game of the Daily 10. That will make sure our maths brains are switched on, ready for today's learning. So, let's go for level 2, partitioning, 10 seconds, okay? So, 90 add 3. 30 add 2. 70 add 9. 20 add 8. 10 add 5. 80 add 2. 80 add 4. Got 3 more questions to go. 30 add 8. Come on, Year 4, I know you can do this. 20 add 1. Just one more left, keep going. We're almost there. And 10 add 4. I hope you managed to come up with an answer for each of those questions. And are you ready to now check those? Okay, give yourself a big clap if you got all of those correct. I'm sure lots of you did. So, your learning question for today, then Year 4, says, can I understand angles as terms? So we've moved away from looking at shapes now, okay? And yesterday we looked at something called positional language. And remember I told you that all that means is where something is. And some of the words that we used yesterday was left. Something is to the left or to the right. We also had middle. Okay, so they are positional words. They tell us where to the left or in the middle, to the right. And this is always really tricky for me to show you at the front because if I put my left hand up, it would look different to you, so it's best if I turn around. And this side is the left, and you'll notice that if I put my thumb out, it looks like a L for left. Okay? So, today then, we're thinking about angles. And angles, really simply, are where two lines meet. And an angle is the space between those two lines. So let's draw 2 lines. There we go. So the angle is that part there. The space between 2 lines. Let's draw 2 more lines. Okay. The space between. You'll see why I put a square in that one in a little bit. Okay. So an angle is the space between two lines that meet. And this angle has got a special name. And it's called a right angle. And a right angle is 90 degrees. And it's where one vertical, which is this one, and one horizontal, which is this one, where those lines meet. And right angles are always shown with a little square rather than a curve. And this leads us to your first question for today, guys. So we're going to go straight to our book in page 33. And your first question is asking you to draw 3 different shapes that all have 4 sides. But it must have at least one right angle. So let's think of some 4-sided shapes. A square, it's got 4 sides. 2 this way, 2 that way, that are all the same length. Does a square have any right angles? Does it have a vertical line and a horizontal line that meet? It does, so one of your shapes could be a square. Another one of your shapes, let's think of another 4-sided shape, is a rectangle. And a rectangle has 2 longer sides and 2 shorter sides. And again, does it have a vertical and a horizontal line that meet? It does, so we've done your first 2 shapes. You've just got to draw them. See if you can come up with your own 3rd shape. And before I go back to my whiteboard, we can also have a little go at question number 2, because it's asking you to tick all of the angles that are right angles. And remember, right angles are the ones with the little square in the corner. You're going to put a tick next to those and I'll give you a clue. There are 2 of them. Okay. And then this is where it changes a little bit again. So we've already looked at right angles. A right angle is 90 degrees where a vertical and a horizontal line meet. And now, let's go back to our learning question. We've got to think of angles as turns. And by turn, I literally mean turns. So if I'm facing you and I turn one right angle, 190 degrees, have a look, going to turn 1/4. So I'd be facing this way. Then if I was to turn 1/4 again, I'd face this way. If I was going to make 3 turns, so remember I started here, I'd go 1, 2, 3. And if I was going to make a full turn, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 full turn. And each of those turns are 90 degrees. They're right angle turns. Okay, so I want you to have a go at doing that now. I'm going to tell you how many turns I want you to make. 1, 2, 3, or 1 full 1. Are you ready? Okay, so start by facing me and do 1 turn. That's it. So now we should be either this way or this way. Okay, next one. Facing me again. 3 turns. 3 right angle turns. Brilliant, well done. Facing me again. Let's go for 1 full turn this time. Brilliant, year 4. So this will help us with question number facing A. I'm going to highlight those so we can see very clearly. So we'll start there, and we're facing A. Can we all see that? I've drawn a little arrow pointing to A. You make 3 right-angled turns clockwise. And clockwise is just the way that the clock ticks. Okay, and the clock ticks. Let me get my highlighter again. This way. Okay, so we're going to make 3 turns going around this way. What letter will we now be facing? So we know it's not going to be A. So is it B, C, or D? Lovely, well done. Now the last question. Is asking you to get up and move. So I want you to do this whilst I read them. And we've got something to fill in right at the end. So, read the sentences below and finish the last sentence. I walk forward 3 paces. So I want you to do it with me. 1, 2, 3. I turn right 1/4 of a turn. Now this is left, so right is this way. I walk 3 paces. 1, 2, 3. I turn right 1/4 of a turn. I walk forward 3 paces. 1, 2, 3. I turn right 1/4 of a turn. I walk forward 3 paces. I turn right 1/4 of a turn. So think about where I am now after I've just made those movements. I will now be facing the same way as when I think about it. Where did I start? Brilliant, thank you, Year 4. Now your final challenge for today. Challenge whoever you are with at home. And complete different turns. So I want you to give them an instruction. 3 quarter turns, 2 quarter turns, 1 full turn, and see if they can complete it. Okay, so let's end today's lesson with a quick roll of our dice. Let's see what number we land on today. Number 3, did you learn anything new? And I think you will have learned something new today, so what was it? Don't forget to take a picture and send it to the Year 4 email address.